was a young girl named Kathleen. When she was 16 years old, she fell in love with a boy who lived down the road. They spent all their time together, kissing and holding hands. One day the boy told her he had to go away. He had joined the army and they were sending him overseas. She promised that she would wait for him, and when he returned, they would get married and spend the rest of their lives together. A few months later, the young man was reported missing, presumed killed in action. Kathleen grew up, and as time went by, she forgot about her first love. She met a new man and they got married and had children. Kathleen settled into her life as a wife and mother. For years, she was so busy raising her family that she barely had time to think of anything else. Eventually, her kids grew up and left the house. One morning after her husband left for work, she found a letter on her doorstep. She picked it up and turned it over. There was no stamp on the envelope. She tore it open and read the note inside. It was just one line. "You didn't keep your promise." She was puzzled by the message. It seemed angry and threatening. It made her think of things long ago, of the boy she had known when she was young. She tore the letter up and threw it in the garbage. Later that day, Kathleen went shopping. It was her wedding anniversary and she wanted to cook a special dinner for her husband. She bought a lot of groceries and struggled out the supermarket door with the bags under her arms. It was growing dark and she was afraid to walk home alone, so she flagged down a taxi. When it pulled over, she put the shopping bags on the back seat and got inside. It wasn't until she shut the door that the taxi driver turned around and smiled at her. It was a face she remembered from long ago, a pale, gaunt, rotting face. Kathleen screamed in horror as she tried to open the door, but it was locked. As she beat on the window with her fists, shrieking with terror, the taxi drove off into the night. The generally accepted idea is that the average person needs about 8 hours of sleep a night. That used to be the case, but for the past year it's been another story. Doctors still can't explain why, but collectively the average person only now needs to sleep 8 minutes a night. 8 minutes. It still sounds unbelievable. 8 hours feels like a coma now. As strange as it is, I will admit it's not without benefits. We have more time now to have fun, be with loved ones, and earn more hours at work now that we don't have to sleep all night anymore. In fact, with the surge in people awake all night, the unemployment rate went down rather quickly. For some, the lack of so much sleep appeared to be the best thing to ever happen to them. But of course, there had to be a drawback. It's hard to explain. Sometimes there will be these differences I notice. Things that really aren't supposed to be there. Like fruit on the countertop that's unnaturally big. Things that you wouldn't expect to see people do. Like attempt to lift a dumpster like it's a normal trash can. What's weird is when I first see these things, they seem perfectly normal until I stop to think about them. I myself tried walking down the street, hopping on one leg to work, and didn't think twice about it until someone asked me why I was doing it. The more I think about it, the more it disturbs me. Our bodies may be perfectly fine with the reduced need for sleep now, but what if our minds aren't? What if we are slowly going insane and don't even know it? What if we're still dreaming? Whether we're awake or not, and someday won't be able to tell the difference. What if we stop sleeping altogether? Makes me wish I was just suffering from insomnia like I was before all this started. Being sleep deprived was better than being delusional. I hate it when my brother Charlie has to go away. My parents constantly try to explain to me how sick he is. That I'm lucky for having a brain where all the chemicals flow properly to their destinations like undammed rivers. When I complain about how bored I am without a little brother to play with, they try to make me feel bad by pointing out that his boredom likely far surpasses mine, considering his confined to a dark room in an institution. I always beg for them to give him one last chance. Of course, they did at first. Charlie has been back home several times, each shorter in duration than the last. Every time without fail, it all starts again. The neighborhood cats with gouged out eyes showing up in his toy chest. My dad's razors found dropped on the baby slide in the park across the street. Mom's vitamins replaced by bits of dishwasher tablets. My parents are hesitant now, using last chances sparingly. They say his disorder makes him charming, makes it easy for him to fake normalcy, and to trick the doctors who care for him into thinking he's ready for rehabilitation. That I'll just have to put up with my boredom if it means staying safe from him. I hate it when Charlie has to go away. It makes me have to pretend to be good until he's back.
If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you'd like to, you can follow me at Twitter. The handle is @FuzzyPantaloons, and I'll see you all next time.